Judge blocked the Trump administration from deporting unaccompanied Guatemalan migrant children just as their flights were ready to take off. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez is here with us in studio with more on this morning. Camilo, great to see you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here. Where are these kids now, and what does this ruling mean overall?
Well, the 76 unaccompanied migrant children from Guatemala who were facing return to that country on Sunday are now back in U.S. custody in shelters overseen by the Office of Refugee Resettlement, a federal agency that is charged with housing migrant children who enter the country illegally without their parents or legal guardians. That is because of that judge's order, who is now overseeing this case and determining the facts in a legal battle in which the two sides are saying starkly different things. Errol, the Trump administration is arguing that it was technically not trying to deport these unaccompanied children, but instead to return them to Guatemala for the purposes of having them reunite with their relatives there at the request of the Guatemalan government. The attorneys for the children say many of these kids had pending immigration cases in the U.S. that had not been fully adjudicated, that some had even expressed concerns about being harmed or otherwise victimized in Guatemala and did not want to go back there.
Now, the president repeatedly claims, as far as his deportation practices overall, that they are targeted to the worst of the worst. We want to just play briefly what the Homeland Security Secretary said on Face the Nation Sunday. Let's listen to that.
We will continue to go after the worst of the worst across the country, like President Trump has told us to do, focusing on those that are perpetuating murder and rape and trafficking of drugs and humans across our country.
From what you can tell, do the actions of the administration match that rhetoric?
Well, Errol, multiple things can be true at once. The administration is arresting some people who are in the country illegally and who also have committed other criminal offenses, including violent crimes. But the administration's crackdown on illegal immigration has extended well beyond those dangerous criminals that the president promised to deport. Just think about this statistic, Errol. There are right now about 61,000 immigrants in ICE custody. That is a record high. About 45% of those people have no criminal charges or convictions, or only facing civil immigration violation charges.
Wow, that's a significant number. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thanks so much.